Bachelor League. Played 2 seasons. He got in the auto accident, or he would have been a long-time player, but what a class act. Thank you, Dave. All right, I get honored again to talk about Mr. Richie Finn. Woo! Brad, John, and Richie. I mean, what do you do? Those three, they had to go in. They had to go in together. There's no separating them. They're awesome. Got the pleasure of playing with Richie, playing against Richie, watching Richie grow, watching him get the tar off his tennis shoes. Richie would show up at a tournament, it looked like he was a roofer because his tennis shoes were tarred and stuff like that. But those three guys are the three cockiest guys I ever played against and played with and that. But it's not always a bad thing. But I don't know anyone else who would wear a dart shirt that says Dart God on it with a blinking light on the back. The quietest guy ever is walking through the NDA World Championships with a blinking light on his shirt that says Dart God. Worse than that, he was playing in level 3. But he did get the top guard level 3 registration. And it was the second highest ever spree recorded in NDA history. They cut it out the next year so no one could pass it. So we have the 2 top ever. Mr. John Gray with a 14.3 and Mr. Richie Finn with a 12.8. Yeah. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's perfect darts. Shooting over an 8 was awesome. No one had ever done it till 8 Arizona guys did it in 1991, playing in the finals. But Richie was on the first dream team, Arizona. They got second in the USA. We beat them, but anyway.
Yeah, we won't go there.
Richie, I don't care. If you've ever seen this guy play darts, don't tell me you know anybody with a smoother stroke. You know it. You could look up. Richie Finn. Just the smoothest stroke ever in dart history. I'll fight you, I'll argue with you ever. He's got the smoothest stroke. And he could probably, lay out for 3 years and walk back up and throw a 1080 his first 3 darts, because that's Richie Finn, The only other guy, like Kirsten, takes off 10 years and comes back looking like a mountain man and hits a 171. Not a 180, 171. Rich Finn is the best of the best. He's just a quiet guy. He's a quiet assassin. And I was playing with him in steel darts, and I suck at steel darts. Richie's like, all right, go. I'm like, I can't double on in steel darts. He's like, no. I hit all 3 off the board. They get in. Richie's like, don't worry, I got it. Bam, double 20 and triple. I'm like, oh, that's easy. So anyway, I won several steel tournaments, not because of me. I was like the worst guy in it, but Richie was the best. Brad carried me a few times. But Rich Finn is deserving of this. He was so good. There was an argument in the 90s. Who's better, John or Richie? And I said, me. Anyway. That was true in the 80s, not the 90s. These 2 guys they set the bar so high, and Brad was right there with them. Those 3 guys, the kids, born in 68 or 67 or 69, those 3 guys, Brad, Richie, John, unbelievable how good they were. I'm proud to be friends with them. I'm honored to announce it, Mr. Richie Finn. AKA the Dart Guy. I've always envied Mike's ability to remember details about anything, you know, like people's names, places you've been in, tournaments. I look out here, I've met most of my lifelong friends around this game, and a lot of you people are here tonight. It chokes me up, it really does. My wife, who I've been married to for 29 years. I met her for the first time at a TPT Darts at Work banquet. Her father, Mickey Fraser, remember him. I love him. He referred to it as the Richard Finn show. That banquet. I guess I did pretty well that season. I don't remember, so I forgive him. When Tracy and I were married back in '93, it was in Vegas while we're at the dart tournament. So it tells you how ingrained this game is in my life. Been to Vegas many times. I don't remember hardly any of them. But I'm told I had fun. And apparently there's stories. That's cool. I'm good with that. I do remember the dart guy only because it keeps coming up. That's what I remember for that. You are the dart. When I was first introduced to this game by my mother's boyfriend at the time, Mr. Mark McCann. I found that I have a knack for the game. I found it difficult to reach the top of the board though when I was throwing. At the 20s, the guy was so short, like John Gray. I shot at 19s for first couple of years, I think. I didn't realize you were this short when I was a kid. Stunning. Maybe you're shrinking. I met my good friend Brad Haley at an ADL youth league. Not youth league, it was a tournament for youth. And there was a lot of kids there. I was really surprised. It was at his dad's bar. Warren owned Mr. Nice and Nasty's #2. And Norm's not with us anymore, but I miss him. I think about him sometimes. I think about you. Brad and I hit it off really well from the first time we met. His dad owning the bar was, just icing on his cake because we had access to all kinds. Not alcohol, we were young kids. Brad was awesome to me, and he was a year older, and he still is. Let's see. We spent most of our youth trying to best each other on the board. When we weren't out looking for trouble, which was often. Brett could drive before I could, so I was dependent on him. He was the best friend I couldn't think of anybody else I wanted to hang out with. So, Brett will always be my best friend, I think. One of my best friends. When the soft hit came to town, I remember this vividly for some reason. We started hearing about these soft hit tournaments that were popping up in other bars that weren't steel tip bars. Brad and I would go to steel tip tournaments whenever we could on the weekends, trying to find a game. They were far and few between at that time. I mean, you could find a game, but it was 7, 8, 12 people maybe, right? That was if they let us in the bar. I mean, we're still underage. They didn't want us in there unless we had a parent with us, somebody that would
bars are to the pot. And the bullseye was 50 points. And it was freaking huge. It was almost impossible to miss it. So, like, yeah, okay, well, there was this whole toy darts philosophy among, you know, it was like steel tips tops. They didn't want to play something. After Brad told me that, I was no longer Tom. So we started heading to these dart tournaments, and Brad started kicking ass, and I was right behind him. And then, yeah, there was a sweet spot there for a couple of years where you and I was tearing it up. But, yeah, that was, I can remember that very good. A little later on, we learned about Mr. Bates here through the grapevine. He was the one to beat, and that was word on the street. So, my earliest memories of beating Mike at the bench for was, he was always up for another game. He's the nicest guy in the room. He was a monster on the board. Always fun to be around. Competitive as hell. Just like he is today. I mean, I love you, man. You're awesome. When I think back when I was a younger kid playing a few nights a week with my parents in the different people that would meet, different places we would play. Not all good, not all bad. You know, there was some guys, there was some assholes that we would play. I learned about sportsmanship and how to be courteous and respectful, win or lose. I mean, I took that to heart. I mean, when people treated me with disrespect, and I'm just a kid, I didn't know better. You know, I would sit there and look at them, and I'm like, I don't want to be like this person when I grow up. I'm not going to be like this person when I grew up. And I think some of that rubbed off on Brad. He was treated the same way. And yeah, it made me the person I think that I am today at some point. You know, I don't take any shit, but, you know, disrespect me and you're going to get it right back, you know. But, you know, treat me with respect, you're going to get that tenfold. So, there's a lot of people that supported us when we were kids. A lot of those people are still my lifelong friends today. People like Dick Park, Don Henson, Mike Sexton, Bobby Hart, Lloyd Julia, Al Bliss, Patty Pierre, Chicago Bob, and Carol Retz. The list is very long. I don't remember the people that disrespected us. They don't even register. My memory sucks, like I said. So, yeah. I'm honored to have been chosen for this, and I'm grateful for everybody that came out. I'm grateful for your friendship, and especially Mr. Mike Bates and his family for all you've done for me and for the sport over the years. You're the best.